Mm. Like, ah, okay. Mm.
Okay. Now, let me see. Okay, question number 1.2.
1.2, 1.2, I put D.
Correct. Question number 1.3.
1.3, I put C.
Correct. Okay. So
Mm.
we'll go for CU 1.78.
1.7A.
Yeah, I hope you like my story. I thought I'm a good story writer.
is is very long, so I
Yeah,
took
this is
the
exactly
question
like
method.
the one that you will face in your examination,
Hmm.
section B, right? So 1.1, what is the answer?
1.1, this one I put C, necessity.
Wait, okay, correct. 1.2,
Yes, yes, okay, that's correct. Because I was also a little bit um like on the fence for this question. But yeah, okay, C is what I chose in here. I was thinking between reservation and necessity, express and necessity for this one.
for 1.1
Yes, for 1.1.
cannot be express reservation, but because it's necessity, ma.
Hmm. Okay,
Ah, okay,
can.
1.2,
1.2 I put necessity as well. C.
no, that is a different. Now, answer is apple. Now you
Ah,
see, answer is apple for 1.2. You see, right now, both land are hold by both land is owned by Timothy, right?
hmm,
Okay. Now, if let's say Timothy want to sell parcel F, right? So he's staying in parcel B, the one behind, yeah. Am I right?
yes.
Before he sell parcel F, right, he will sure make a reservation inside one because he want to make sure he himself got the right of way. That is called express reservation. So in future, if let's say the URA open a route behind parcel B, right, he still enjoy the right of way. So he sure will make express reservation because both land under him. So before he sell, he sure make express reservation one.
Okay.
Clear? Okay. So 1.2 is apple. Okay.
Okay.
1.3.
1.3 I put C, license.
Why?
Sorry.
Why?
Oh, I put license because it is still not within the lease period yet, but he's still allowing Mutu to enter without like any stipulations before that to put his stuff. So he can revoke that at any time, and that's why I put license.
Okay. Your answer is correct, but your reasoning is wrong. Now,
Oh, okay.
yeah, Mutu, this easement, right, is always a touch and concern land. Am I right?
Yes.
Ah, so Mutu, he is the owner of the land. So Mutu will have able to have easement. All right. But now are referring to the heavy goods vehicle. This question is about heavy goods vehicle. Heavy goods vehicle is not somebody that owning the land. So they are just deliver the goods only. They are the outsider, they are the visitor. So they can only have license. Understand? You read the question carefully. They're not referring to Mutu, they're referring to the heavy goods vehicle.
So in that case, is this license granted by Mutu or
To
by
the
Timothy?
no, this license is granted to the heavy goods vehicle,
Oh, yes, it's granted
not
by
Mutu.
it's granted to the
Sorry?
heavy goods. It's granted to the heavy goods vehicle by Mutu or by Timothy. It's
By
by
Timothy, the
it's
land
by
is belong to
Timothy, right?
Timothy.
Okay,
Ah, the land belong to Timothy.
okay.
So this one is referring to the goods vehicle, the heavy goods vehicle. So the heavy goods vehicle only given license to go in. We are not referring to Mutu. Mutu has a easement. But then this heavy goods vehicle is a visitor. So the license given to this visitor. So that's why 1.3, the answer is C.
Okay, okay.
Okay?
So it's
Okay,
A.
question 1.4.
Question 1.4, I put C.
1.4.
Yes. I put
1.
by the time the list has commenced, so
Okay.
can 3.5.
Now that's why because that's how you put. Okay, 1.4 the answer is Denmark because it's a license, so the license expired.
In that case,
Because we're referring
that's
to the vehicles. 1.3 and 1.4 they're referring to the vehicles.
uh,
Alright. So 1.4 and 1.3 and 1.4 they are referring to the heavy goods vehicle to enter. So for enter is license. So cannot enter is license expired. So 1.4 is Denmark.
so if they want to continue going in, then the
Ask
license
for
has to be
license, no,
granted
ask for
by
permission. No, no, ask for permission.
this one is by Mutu now, right? It's not by Timothy, right?
Timothy.
It's still by Timothy, but
Yeah.
Mutu has the list already though.
Sorry? No, due to the delay, ma. The license given to him is that period, ma.
So let's say
No, you're
uh
going through the pathway, you enter the pathway of parcel F, no. F, no.
hmm,
F, who is holding parcel F?
Timothy.
Timothy, what?
Hmm,
Am I right?
yes.
Yeah. So you're passing Timothy's land, no. So Timothy only give you license, what?
Hmm,
Hmm. So after the license expired, so what you need to do is you re-ask for permission again. If let's say granted to you, then will be a new license.
okay.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay, can.
So question 1.5.
1.5, I put A.
Correct. Okay, 1.6.
1.6, I put none of the above.
Correct. Number two. Number
Number
two,
2.
yeah, 2.1.
2.1, I put license coupled with a grant.
No, the answer is A. Apple.
Is oh,
Apple. You see the student go in, right? It's for free one, no. Am I right?
can go
Am I
in.
right?
Hmm,
The student go in by free one, correct?
hmm,
But after going in, they cannot do anything else, right? So it's a bare license.
uh,
License with a grant, that means you are given certain activities to do there, no. Like you're plucking apple, that kind of thing, no. So this case, this case referring to this case, couple, uh, license couple with a grant, right? Is referring to a very old case, in UK. These two person holding the adjacent land, right? And then the landlord A owner, right? He's holding the land, right? And then there's nothing else, right? It's a bare land, so there's a grass on top of the land. Then this landlord B, right, holding the piece of land, but he rears sheeps, right? And his sheeps, right, always cross over to the parcel A land to eat the grass, and then parcel A land owner doesn't mind. That is called what? License coupled with a grant. Now, these students go in, right? What else they can do? They cannot do anything, what? They can just visit the farm only, ma. So it's only bare license.
thought the grant for this instance, right, was actually the educational talk and tour. Because
Correct, but they're not taking any activities. They are not taking something out from from the farm.
mm, okay,
Activities that means you can go there, right? You have a grant, no? That means you are taking something out, no?
mm,
Ah, this one is bare license for you to go in, right? You're not taking anything out from there. You're not collecting something from there.
okay,
All right? 2.2.
okay, got it. Can.
Mm-mm.
2.2, I put B.
I answer is apple.
Eh,
2.2, the answer is apple. Okay. You
oh,
see, you
oh,
see, apple, right? The management of the farm is entitled to blacklist individual and the farm. Yes, point number one is correct. The
mm,
farm management is entitled to revoke bare license. No, Ah Seng is not bare license. Ah Seng is a contractual license. You look at the case properly, right? Ah Seng paid Ah Seng paid nominal $1 to go in one. No?
mm,
You look at the second paragraph. The farm is open to the public. The entrance fee is a nominal $1. Alright? So Ah Seng is paying $1 to go in. No? So Ah Seng is a contractual license.
okay,
Yeah. So if let's say in case of contractual license, you cannot just revoke him because like that because it's not a bare license, right? So point number two is out already, right? Point number three, Ah Seng can evade immediately from the farm. No, contractual license you cannot do that. Bare license you can do that. So point number three is out. This is talking about contractual license. Point number four, with notice, Ah Seng must leave the farm within reasonable time. No, because it's contractual he the farm is obliged to let him visit as long as possible because it's under contract. If let's say it's a bare license, yes, they can. That means two, three, and four is correct. If let's say it's a bare license,
mm.
okay.
But in that case,
So
in this instance, does the blacklist do anything for,
before
for,
we enter lah, before we enter,
oh, so once he pay, he can do
no, no,
anything?
no. Even blacklisted, that means that I wouldn't even want to accept the $1. When you accept $1, no case already.
Ah, okay,
When you accept the $1, no case already. But this is before you accept $1, you can blacklist. You are able to blacklist.
okay.
So 2.2, the answer is 1. Alright. Point number 1. So A is the answer. Alright. 2.3.
2.3, I put C.
The answer is Denmark.
None.
Yes. You see, in this case, right? Okay. The farm management, point number 1. The farm management is liable for negligence as Albert is a license has a license to enter. No. Albert license is only to the farm, not to the pool. So
Mm,
point number 1 is out. Okay. Point number 2. Farm management is not liable for negligence as Albert as a was a trespasser. No. Even as a trespasser, the farm management is liable. So point number 2 is out.
actually, why is
In
it that
English,
they are
in
liable?
English law, in English law, you are not supposed to set trap. You are not supposed to set a trap. Your English law, you are not a hunter. You are not supposed to set a trap. That means that even the thief come to your house, right? You are not supposed to harm by you in your trap. You are not supposed to set a trap. English law don't allow you to use your premises, right, to set a trap. Okay, so even the trespasser or even the thief, right, you're not supposed to harm them, right? So point number 2 is out. The foundation is liable. It's liable. Point number point number 3. The farm management is not liable for negligence. It's liable. Point number 3 is out. Point number 4. The farm management is liable for negligence. However, they can use Just Daddy as a defense. What is Just Daddy?
Uh, Third parties fault, which is the
Yeah,
classmate.
no, no. Third party fault, that means that the farm will claim somebody else, not the classmate,
Eh,
somebody else.
oh, it's
That
not a
means that
classmate.
not my fault, not my fault. That is called third party fault. But this case, right, cannot. He's liable. The farm management is liable. So that's why cannot use just the DE.
Ah,
So point number 2, 3, 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4 all out. So none of the above.
okay.
Okay. So for this negligence, this 2.4, am I right? Negligence, right? You
The
might want to
2.3.
revise again.
Oh, okay.
You might want to you might want to revise this one again because you are weak on these topics. All right.
So for point 4 for this one, the first portion is the one that is is correct. The second portion is wrong, right?
Again.
So the farm management is liable for negligence. That one is correct. The just carry as a defense is wrong.
Yes. The farm
Ah,
management is liable for negligence. That's correct. However, they can use. That means that they can use just daddy as a defense. That is wrong. They cannot use just daddy as a defense.
okay, I see.
Okay. This topic you're weak, right? So you go back to restudy this topic. All right. Okay.
Okay,
2.4. 2.4.
2.4 I put C.
No, damn up.
Oh, none of those. Okay.
Okay. Now, the farm management is liable for negligence, right? As Bruce has a license to enter the pool area. No, Bruce doesn't have a license to enter the pool area.
Hmm.
Bruce's license is only given to him to enter the farm area, not the pool area. So point number 1 is out. Point number 2, the farm management is not liable. It's liable. Point number 2 is out. Point number 3, the farm management is not liable. It's liable. Point number 3 out. Point number 4, the farm management is liable for negligence. However, they can use contributory negligence. But what is contributory negligence?
Mm, it is someone else causing part of the harm or the fault. So the fault doesn't
No,
solely lie with
no,
the farm
no,
management.
no, no, no. Contributory negligence. Okay. Just like let's say I drive a vehicle. I drink drive. Okay. I carry you, right? So you are my passenger. All right. Now, if I drink drive, you are my passenger. If I cause an accident, I'm 100% liable. Okay. Now, but then that is because that you never put on the safety belt, right? And then that because you didn't put on the safety belt, you you are severely injured. But if you were to put on the safety belt, you will not be injured so seriously, right? So that means that you are 20% liable as well, right? So that is called contributory negligence. I shift my 100% part to you. That means that now I'm only liable for 80% because that you yourself didn't take care of yourself. You yourself didn't put the safety belt. That's why I got so seriously injured. But this because it's not all my fault, right? If you were to put on safety belt, right, it will be all my fault, 100% my fault. But because you didn't put on safety belt, you yourself cause yourself harm to be so serious. So you have to bear some portion also. So likely you bear 20%, right? So that is called contributory negligence.
But in this instance, wouldn't
Mm.
contributory negligence apply as well? Because
Farm
Bruce,
management, no. The farm management, no. Who can they share the blame with?
because Bruce was the one who scared
No,
Albert.
it's farm management, no. It's a management fault, no. The management, you must make sure that people do not go into the area.
Hmm.
Am I right?
Oh,
The
but it's quite
farm must
difficult
not.
to.
The farm cannot blame. The farm management cannot blame Bruce. No way. Because remember that you're sharing the negligence is the victim, no. To share victim, no. Not the other party, no. You're talking about is just daddy, no.
Hmm.
When we're talking about contributory negligence, right, it's between the plaintiff and the defendants, no.
Yeah, it's between the plaintiff and the defendant now.
So right now, who is the plaintiff, who's the defendant?
It's Bruce and farm management.
So because of Bruce, how can Bruce have been blamed?
Bruce Bruce was the one who scared Albert, causing Albert to
Correct.
fall.
Correct. But
then
he
he get
himself got
traumatized instead.
traumatized, right? He
Because he
himself got
scared Albert and caused Albert to fall, mah? No, meh?
sorry?
Because he scared Albert and caused Albert to fall, which is that's why he get traumatized. So
Correct.
technically, that's also partially his fault that he get traumatized, isn't it?
No. But the farm management is liable for everything. If let's say if you were to close the door properly, right, in this case will not happen.
Hmm.
Am I right?
Mm, yeah lah. That one, okay, that one I agree with you. That I agree with you. But
Because when we talk about contributory negligence, right, okay, you can push some blame away, okay, because let's say the clear cut case is drink driving, right, and you never put on safety belt, or let's say I ride a motorcycle, right, and you are my pillion rider and you didn't put on your helmet,
mm,
understand? Only that kind of case applied, right? Other than that, right, you cannot claim contributory negligence at all.
uh,
You cannot because it's very difficult to claim because you're pushing part of it to the victim, right? And make sure the victim is share part of the blame, right? In this case, it's not.
okay.
Okay. Question 2.5.
Actually, sorry to go back to the contributory negligence portion. Is there a con
Again,
is there a contract example or like a land related example that has a contributory negligence scenario? Like
for land purpose,
let's say
for land
it's
purpose,
agency purpose,
agency, you're talking about land or agency?
agency.
Agency, very difficult,
Okay.
very difficult. Even land also impossible.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So contributory negligence, right? More are related to those accident cases.
Actions, right?
Accidents.
Okay.
Accidents. That means that let's say even factory accidents, right? And some employment accidents are then likely, but they are more prone to accident cases. But other than that, right, very difficult to claim. Because that is for the defendants to prove. Very difficult to prove.
Mm,
Yeah. And your your case, right, because that you are doing the IES paper, right? Because that I'm law trained, evidence is one of the subject in my 12 subject of my law study. So
mm,
evidence itself will say what can be claimed and what cannot be claimed. So in most of the evidence, right, for the defendants to prove to push away certain responsibility, right, it's very difficult for them to defend. Okay. More of it is accident case.
okay.
Otherwise, you're very difficult to prove that you are not 100% liable. Very difficult.
Mm,
Mm.
okay.
Okay. Answer for 2.5.
2.5, I put A, but I'm assuming it's wrong. Those.
Yeah. 2.5, the answer is Bangkok. 2.5, the answer is Bangkok. You see, the farm management is not liable for negligence because he was a trespasser. No, farm management is liable even for trespasser. Am I right? I already said the English law doesn't allow you to set the trap, right? So farm management is liable, right? Point number two, the farm management is liable. It's not liable. It's liable, right? It's liable. So point number two is also out. Now point number three, the farm management is not liable for negligence because of the notice board. Yes. Now you see, uh, Wesley, are you in the army before?
Yes.
All right. So you see that those restricted area, right? There is a sign that it's a shooting man. Am I right?
Mm, yes.
So there is a warning. So if let's say you put on the notice board, right, and also, or especially it's a pictorial, you cannot claim you're illiterate, right? A shooting man. So that means that they exclude liability already. Understand? They exclude liability. That means that they are exempt from liability because I already warned you already. And if let's say you see properly, those restricted area, especially army, they have double fence one fence and then they build another fence inside, right? So it's to ensure that you should watch out because that there's a shooting man. If you still enter, it's your own peril, right? And you see those landed property, right? They put the picture of a guard dog at the door there to warn you that inside there there's a fierce dog. Even maybe inside is only a chihuahua, lah, okay? But then they already warn you. So if you still enter the landed property and they put the picture of a fierce dog, you still enter, right? That means you're taking your own risk.
Mm.
Okay, so they will not be liable, right? So that is an example that if you give proper warning, right, then you're not liable.
Okay.
Like the case of army case, right? If you give proper warning, right, and people still go in, right, okay, then they're taking their own risk. What remember that in the negligence law of negligence, right? If you're taking your own risk, right, you cannot claim from anybody, ma, correct?
Mm.
So that is a case of you're taking your own risk because ample warning has been given. So the answer for 2.4 is point number 3, Bangkok.
Okay.
Okay.
Can.
Now this topic a bit big, so you might want to revise this one. Oh,
Okay.
okay. Okay. 2.1.
2.1.
Yes.
2.1. Question one.
Answer question.
I put D. None of the above.
Correct. Okay.
Okay.
Number 2.
Number two. I put B.
Good. Number 3.
Number three. Is this uh I put B.
Again.
Number three. I put B.
Charlie.
Uh, one,
Charlie.
two,
Charlie. Answer
four.
is Charlie.
Oh, oh, okay.
Charlie. Answer is Charlie. Okay. Now, for this case, right, can never be because it's using the OTP form, correct? So it can never be a social domestic agreement because it's formalized already. So point number 1 is out already, right?
Mm,
Using OTP form, you're selling a HDB, am I right?
mm,
Right. So cannot be domestic agreement. Selling a house definitely. Remember, we are talking about sales of property. Must be in writing. Must be in English language. So definitely will not be social domestic agreement. So point number 1 is out. Okay. So if let's say you see point number 1 out, right, that means ABD will not be the answer already.
but this okay. I
Okay.
think this portion was a little bit iffy because I see so many options having all of the rest and only
Yeah.
this one
Because
doesn't.
this designed by me one, purposely catch ma. Alright. So
Mm,
point number 2, right? Phil cannot use John provided OTP. Yes, he cannot use. That is correct. Because that normally the OTP will bear the agency logo. Alright. Let's say we are Hutton's, right? We use Hutton OTP. Hutton's logo is there. So he cannot use. Point number 2 is correct. Point number 3, OTP without a witness is not valid. Valid. You let's say they do their own, right? Of course they have witness, right? So point number 3 is correct. Point number 4, it is illegal. No, it is not illegal. It is unethical. It's not illegal. So point number 4 is incorrect. Point number 5, right? An OTP is still required, even if it's social. No, it's not social domestic agreement. So point number 5 is out. So only point number 3, sorry, only point number 2 is the correct answer. So Charlie is the answer.
okay.
Okay? Okay. Question number 4.
Question number four. I put B.
Correct. Question number 5.
Five. I put C.
Again?
I put C.
Bangkok.
Uh oh. The answer is B.
No, no. No. Your number 5 put what's the answer?
The third option.
The
C.
third option you put Charlie.
Yes.
So question number 5 you put Charlie.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, question number 6.
Question number six. I put Charlie as well.
Correct. Question number 7.
Question number seven. I put Denmark.
Correct. Okay. All right. Okay, we go to 2.2.2. 2.1 we finish already, right? We go for 2.2a.
That's a 2A.
2.2a.
Is it the one where Steven passed away and
Yes, yes.
okay, okay. For 1.1 I put Bangkok.
No, Denmark. Denmark.
Okay.
The answer is Denmark. You see, they are asking what? The question is asking that which of the above is considered real property? Which is real property? That means that must be the house and fixture, ma, correct? That is real property, ma. So none of the above, in the GCB from point 1 to point 5, right? It's all movable item, what? Cannot be real property, what? So none of above.
Huh. I thought it was
Yeah.
because
No, you see, they're asking for what is the item above is considered real property. No, the above is referring to point number 1 and point number 5. None of it, none of it is considered a real property.
uh-huh.
Okay,
Okay.
so it's Denmark, right? 1.2.
1.2 I put D.
Correct. 1.3.
1.3 uh I put D as well.
No, Charlie, Charlie, Charlie. You see, which of the following item will rules has interest before the intrinsic succession distribution? Right. Now, point number 1, the mother Rose, right, will have the legal title of GCB,
Mm, this was
because
before this term.
the son, no, the son will have an equitable title, am I right?
Yes.
So the mother will have legal title. The GCB is given to the son, am I right?
Yes.
Given to Chan, right?
Yes.
But Chan is only 19 years old, correct? So
Oh,
the mother must,
right.
yeah,
Yes,
so the
yes.
mother must hold on his behalf, correct?
Hmm.
Yeah, so point number 1 is the answer, right? And of course, at point number 4 is the answer. So C is the answer.
Ah. Okay, okay.
Mm. Okay. Question number 1.4. All these are designed by me, this question, right? So definitely I know what's going on. Okay.
This question is
Okay.
very familiar because I went to your
Yes.
but yeah, I
Yes.
can't remember this one back then. I remember
Yes.
this question I didn't remember the answer or the theory behind it.
Mm. Okay.
Um
Answer 1.4.
1.4 I put B.
Bangkok, is it?
Yes.
Right, correct. 1.5.
1.5 I put C.
No. Apple. You see, Apple. Now,
Ah,
this is talking about agency, right? So he's asking you to he's asking you to be his agent. So you and John agreed. So it's by agreement. Apparent authority, you're talking about C, is it?
yes, C.
C is what? No, C is when John introduced you to the third party. That is called apparent authority. He introduced you to the third party. That's called apparent authority. But now it's between you and John only. Between you and John is by agreement. He offer you, you accept. Agreement.
Okay.
Okay, 1.5. Apple.
So
Right, 1 point.
agreement
Mm,
is two party. Apparent
within two
authority
party only.
is three
Only
party.
within two party.
Okay.
Apparent authority must have three party. That means the principal introduce you as an agent to the third party. Or they didn't even introduce you as an agent. The principal introduced you to the third party. So that is called apparent authority.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay, question number 6, 1.6.
Question number 6 I put D.
Charlie. Charlie. Okay. Now, point number 1, right? The agency relationship is established once commission. Agency got nothing to do with commission. Even no commission, as long as you represent the principal, you are the agent. No need to talk about commission. Now, commission, because we are property agent, we 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 all along we say that we must be paid. But as long as you represent the principal, in law, you are the agent, right? So point number one is not correct.
Mm.
Point number two, agency relationship is confirmed once the transaction is completed. No, not necessary, right? Agency can agree, like your case, you and John, is already confirmed even before you complete the transaction. So point two, number two is out. Point number three, advertising is considered an agent's work. That is correct, right? Let's say we advertise in Property Guru, it's the agent work. And by the way, Property Guru only accepts agents advertisement because that when you advertise in Property Guru, they ask you for the agent's number, registration number. So a owner cannot advertise in Property Guru, right? Yes, owner, even you are owner, you cannot advertise in Property Guru because you don't have a registered number. So Property Guru only required you when you advertise to produce your registered number. So only agent can advertise in Property Guru. Okay, so that is the reason that why they want us, especially selling, because that they cannot do themselves.
Mm.
And Property Guru is very popular. Understand? So
Mm.
point number three is correct, right? Remember that only agents can advertise in Property Guru, right? So advertising work is part of agency's work.
Mm.
Okay, use that to remember what is the logic behind. Okay.
Okay.
Now,
Point
point number
four.
four. Yeah, as an agent, you are provoked. You can revoke the agency agreement by any time by notification of principal. No, only a principal can revoke. An agent can only renounce.
Oh right. Yesterday you just but day
Yes,
before yes. Okay, okay.
yes. Yesterday I just
Ah
mentioned. Yeah,
yes, yes,
it's a
yes.
legal term. It's a legal term. So you cannot change that term, right? It's a legal term. Only the principal can revoke. The agents can only renounce. It's a legal term. So no need to challenge about that, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So yes, so that is the kind of thing that be careful, especially depends on who come out the paper lah. But most of the time, this paper come out by lawyer lah, by the way. Oh,
Wow. Okay.
okay, yeah, okay. 1.7,
1.7 I put D Denmark.
correct. 1.8,
1.8 I put America.
correct. 1.9,
1.9 I put Bangkok.
no, Denmark.
Denmark.
Yeah, because that Peanut got no authority at all, no.
Hmm?
Peanut got no authority at all. He doesn't have any relationship to sell John's bungalow, mah. No relationship. John's never appoint Peanut to sell his bungalow, what. So no need to terminate.
But then he can terminate
No
the
need to terminate
condo.
because nothing to terminate. No need to terminate because nothing to terminate. Because first of all, he's not being appointed at all. John only asked Peanut to take care of the condo, not the bungalow. So
Couldn't
Peanut
he
got no
couldn't he use this case to terminate the condo's relationship?
no need to terminate because he's never given any authority at all.
It's given
Peanut got no
the
authority. No, Peanut got no authority to sell the bungalow. No authority. No relationship. No agency agreement. So no need to terminate.
okay, so right right now, or not say right now, but for this scenario, Peanut
Mm.
is Peanut has a agency with John for the
Only
condominium.
for the condo. Only for the condo.
Yes, for the condominium. But then
But
because
now
of
it's talking
this,
about the bungalow.
but could it be or can it be that because of his actions with the bungalow, so now John wants to terminate the condo
No,
portion.
he's talking about bungalow. This question is talking about bungalow. Bungalow. This question is talking about bungalow. Not the John doesn't say that he want to terminate Peanut for the condo, no. Never, no. That means that John still allowed Peanut to continue with the condo, no.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Can.
It's only he's fed up with him on doing the bungalow because he has no authority. Because the bungalow is given to you, not Peanut. Right? So Peanut Kepo go and do it, that's why he's not happy. Right? John already disputed the way who do what already. Okay? Okay, question number 10.
Question number 10, I put A.
Bangkok. Okay, now you see, rent out bungalow and sell the freehold, right? Cannot rent out bungalow because you're renting out bungalow, that means LDAU only approve you for residential purpose.
Okay.
Only approve you for residential purpose, not for investment. So point number 1 is out already. Point number 2, rent out condo, yes you can, and sell the bungalow, yes you can. Right? Point number 2 is correct. Point number 3, keep both bungalow and condo as holiday home. Yes, you can do that. Point number 2, point number 3 is correct. Point number 4, rent out both bungalow. You cannot rent bungalow. Bungalow you can only own stay only. So point number 4 is out. So 1 and 4 is out. So your correct answer is 2 and 3.
Okay.
Okay.
This
Right.
one, yeah.
Remember, LDAU one. Remember, right? LDAU only allowed you to own stay, not investment. And remember, it's 15,000 square feet, not 15,000 square meter.
Okay.
All right. Okay. 2.3.
2.3.
Hmm.
For 2.3, the Chandras, names
Hmm.
in Chandra portion.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
first question I put America.
No, Denmark. Okay. Now you see, Chandra has the right to make arrangement because it's not because it's not the legal owner, then he has the right to view the thing. No, it's because of what we are talking about, tenants and landlord, that kind of relationship. So it's not because of holding legal. So point number 1 is out. Point number 2, both tenants legally lease the unit, they hold the legal interest. That is correct. But then that is not the reason that they must let him view, must allow the viewing. No, this is not the reason. So point number 2 is out. Point number 3, under landlord implied governance, the landlord must comply with the quiet enjoyment of the lease. Yes, this is the case. We are talking about landlord, right? So point number 3 is correct. Point number 4, under the tenant's implied governance, the tenants must agree to the request from the landlord for view. Yes, point number 3 and point number 4 is the answer, right? So Denmark is the answer. Okay? Okay,
So
question number 2.
point number 2 is correct but is not relevant, which is why it's wrong.
Correct.
Ah.
Okay. Yes. You must read the in context, right? Okay. Point number 2. Question number 2.
Question number 2, I put Denmark.
Bangkok. Okay. Now you see, point number 1. Mavis whole remainder, that is wrong, right? Because he's Chandra sell to her already, so cannot be remainder. Remainder is a third party. That means that under the what life estate. After the life estate, you hold it, that is called remainder interest. So point number 1 is out. Now, point number 2, maybe hold the reversionary interest from the tenant. Yes, that is correct. After the tenancy expired, right, the tenant will revert back the interest. What are interest? Exclusive possession, right? Quiet enjoyment, those kind of interest back to the landlord. So point number 2 is correct. Point number 3, the effect of contract or privity between Chandra and maybe yes, because they're signed this S&P, right, or SAP, right? So definitely a privity of contract, yes. Point number 4, there is an effect or probability of estate between tenant and maybe yes, because they're staying on the same land, correct? So 2, 3, 4 is the correct answer. Only point 1 is not. Okay. So
So
Bangkok is the correct answer.
actually Sandra has no interest at all after this, which is why it's not A.
Correct. Correct. After Chandra sold the unit away, right? Okay. This is a real case, This is a real case because I'm the one who sold the Viva Vista, right? So after Chandra is my friend, by the way, right? When he sold, yeah, yeah, yeah. So when he sold the unit away, right? Okay, then he got nothing already. He hold nothing, right? He's totally out, 100% out already, right? Okay, question number 3.
Question number 3, I put A.
Correct. Question number 4.
Question number 4, I put A as well.
4, 4, 4. 4, 4, 4.
Yes, 4, I put A as well, but yours
Denmark,
was wrong.
Denmark, 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 Denmark.
Oh,
Okay,
lease can
now
express
you see,
power.
okay, you see, Mavis is not allowed to do that. Yes, she's allowed to do that. That means that she want to stay on the lower floor, rent out upper floor. Yes, she's allowed to do that. She's the landlord right now. Point number one is what? Is wrong because that she's allowed to do that. Right? Point number one is out already. Point number two, Mavis is not allowed to do that. No, she's allowed to do that. Point number two is out. Point number three, either party can surrender the lease. No, only the tenants can surrender the lease. Landlord will not surrender. Surrender of lease is a action by the tenants. It's a legal term. So point number three is out. Point number four, Mavis can exercise express power. This kind of express power, just like your employment contract. Now, you can give employer a notice. Employer also can give you as an employee a notice period. Exactly like the lease. Understand? Your lease agreement is just like your employment contract. So both party can give either party notice, right? So that is point number 4 is correct. That is called exercise of express power. Why express? Because inside it's written in your contract. That's why it's called express. So point number 4 is the correct answer. Denmark is the correct answer. Clear?
So let's say there's someone staying in a lower floor, right? And the lease haven't expired yet. So
Exercise, terminate.
can terminate like that. So it's like,
And
isn't
the
that
unit that
privity
I
of
sold
contract?
exactly the Viva Vista unit I sold exactly we terminate both tenants.
Oh,
Yes. I didn't sell with tenanted. I sold with vacant.
but isn't there a privity of contract? Like let's say they can stay there for
No, I'm calling
longer.
according to contract. What that means that inside your lease agreement, they will say that if let's say either party give 1 month notice, right, then you're able to terminate. But then you got to compensate the other party lah.
Ah,
Just like your employment contract. That's why I keep on saying. Just like your employment contract. Can you say that you cannot say I work for you for life, correct? So both party can give each other party notice period, exactly like your employment contract. Clear? So if you can understand your employment contract, the lease is exactly the same thing. Both party can give each other as long as a notice period, then you can able to leave, right? But for lease, because we already confirmed period, let's say 1 year, right? So before the 1 year, you terminate which each party will compensate the other party, lor.
okay.
Mm. Let's say, for a very, very good example, let's say if the lease agreement is 1 year, right? And the tenant stay 8 months, then you want to terminate, right? So most likely that he will forfeit his security deposit because he never fulfill the 1 year period, correct? Am I
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So the security deposit will be makan, right? Now, same thing. If let's say the landlord want to terminate early, right? That means that it's supposed to end 1 year one. Right now, on the 8 month, the landlord want to terminate. So landlord, same thing, pay the tenants 1 month rental and ask the tenant to go. Understand?
Okay. Can.
Okay. Just like your employment contract. Okay. Okay. Question number 5.
Question number 5, I put Denmark.
Correct. Question number 6.
Question number 6, I put Bangkok.
Apple. You see,
Apple.
Apple. Okay.
Okay.
Now, Lily is entitled to sublease if the tenancy contract does not prohibit her. Yes. Yesterday in the class I already mentioned, right?
Mm.
You must, it's an express term, it's not implied one. So in the lease contract, you must state no sublease, no sublet. You must put there, the word must be there. If let's say you didn't put there, right, you never expressly put there, that means the tenants able to sublease. So point number 1 is correct. Point number 2, Lily cannot sublease under the tenant. No, this is express term. It's not implied. So point number 2 is out. Point number 3, between Mavis and Rose, there is an effect of privity. Who is Rose? Rose is the
Rose is the sub.
subtenant, is it?
Yes.
Ah,
Tenant.
so yesterday in the class I already mentioned, since your tenant play the role of landlord, you already block you already.
Mm.
You supposed to be the landlord. So right now your tenant play the role of landlord. So it's block you in between. So you got no access to your subtenant, right? So that means no privity of contract, no privity of estate also, right? So point number 3 is out. Point number 4, between Mavis and Rule, there is nothing, right? No privity of contract, no privity of estate. Point number 3 and 4 is out. So point number 2, 3, 4 is out. So only left point number 1 is the correct answer. Apple is the correct answer.
Okay.
Hmm. Okay. 7.
Yeah, this I understand. I
Huh?
did this before yesterday's lesson. So
Okay.
now I get it. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Point 7, I put Denmark.
Correct. 8.
Eh, is it correct?
7 is Denmark, correct.
Okay.
8.
8 is America.
No. Charlie. Charlie. Okay. Now, Mavis decided not to grant renewal. Okay. The lease is terminated. Express power. No. The lease is terminated by expiration. It's not express power. It's a lease, not renewal, ma, correct? Expired already, ma. So point number 1 is out. Point number 2, Lily overstaying without permission is considered tenancy at will. No, tenancy at sufferance. So point number 2 is out. Point number 3, maybe is claimed distress under this. No, nothing to do with distress. This case, point number 3 is out. Point number 4, landlord has a right to charge double rental from occupier unless until the possession is given out. Yes, that is under section 28 subsection 4 of Civil Law Act, allowed to do so, right? So point number 4 is the correct answer. Point number 4 is under section 28 subsection 4 of Civil Law Act. All right, so point number 4 is the correct answer.
Oh, you remember the specific clause and everything?
Sorry.
You remember the specific clause, the specific subsection?
Yeah, of course. To show power ma. To show power ma. Like I purposely write the case on the whiteboard is to show power ma. Which lecturer can do that? Correct or not? So power ma.
Mm. Lord
Not many lecturer can tell you that what are the case behind. They just teach you what they learn. That's all. Then you ask further, they don't know, right? Because they don't even know the law, right? So purposely I'm going to show power. I know the case, right?
It's easier
Show
to
off, show
remember.
off.
Easier
Sorry,
to remember. Easier to remember the high tree, the Lord Atkins,
high tree house case,
this.
right? High tree house case. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Okay.
when I study law, every year I have to remember, if let's say you just want to pass law, every year you have to remember 2,000 cases.
Two-
2,000.
oh, That's a
Just to pass
wow.
only, just to pass only. If let's say if I'm a scholar, right? I'm a scholar, right? So I want to score, I need to remember 5,000 cases every year. Yeah.
Wow.
So yes. And very difficult one. You see the one I write on the board, right?
Mm.
Sometimes it's just a case name. Sometimes it's who versus who. So after you remember that, some of the cases you had to remember the year. Like say the Donahue versus Stevenson, 1932. You cannot don't remember the year, right? So you have to remember that. Then you have to remember what is the story. Then you have to remember the judge name also, because it's important case. So the judge, the name of the judge is important, right? And sometimes stupid thing is not only one judge say something, no. The three judges all say different thing, no. So you got to remember which judge say what. That is difficult, right? But every year I have to remember 5,000 cases just to score. 2,000 just to pass only.
That's a lot
Yeah.
than I thought it would
Sorry?
be. It's a lot more than I thought it would be. It's a lot more tough than I thought it would take. 2,000
Law.
cases. Yeah.
2,000 just to pass only. If let's say you remember less than 2,000, you'll fail. Because that the purpose one, because that when go for law examination, right, they will put a statue in front of you. Statue, the law book in front of you. But that is a statue, no. Like the one I read to you. Section 28, subsection 4 of Civil Law Act. That is statute, right? So you during exam time, where got people go and flip one? Purposely put it for show only, for nice only. Nobody go and flip one, right? But then that case law, they will never put there. Case law, you have to remember. No, nothing for you to refer one. So you have to remember the case, right? And let's say you put the wrong case, that means your whole answer is wrong. And case law is so important because that is to support your argument. If let's say you don't have case law to support your argument, whatever you say, right, is just your word, right? Nothing based on one. So you must base on something to prove your point, right? That's why case law is very important. Mm.
Okay.
Hmm. Correct. Okay. Question number 9, is it?
9.
Mm.
Yes, 9. Question number
Mm.
9, I put Bangkok.
Denmark. Denmark. Okay. Now, point number 1. Agent must be paid for their work. No, no, no. Agency got nothing to do with payment. As long as you represent somebody, you're agent. So point number 1 is out already. Point number 2, despite no agency relationship, there is, because Fiona agreed to be the agent. So point number 2 is out. Agency agreement is by agreement. So point number 2 is out. Point number 3, regardless of lack of agency agreement, no, there is agency agreement, agency relationship. Point number 3 is out. Point number 4, maybe can still create an agency relationship by ratification. No, it's already by agreement already. So point number 4 is out. So answer for question number 9 is Denmark.
Okay.
Okay. Answer for question number 10.
Question number 10, I put Bangkok.
Correct. Okay, good. Okay. 2.4a.
2.4. This one is for the question for Olivia and Alvin. For
Yes.
question 1, I put China.
Denmark.
Oh, Denmark.
Yeah, you see, Alvin is liable for negligence. The show flag is crowded. Okay, right. Alvin is liable for negligence. No. What is the cause and effect? Nothing to do with Alvin, what? Cause and effect is because of the hand grill is not stable, correct? That's got nothing to do with Alvin. It's not cause and effect. So point number 1 is out. Now, point number 2, the developer is not liable. Liable because that anything that in the show flat, anything that wrong with people, when you open your show flat for people to visit, right, you must make sure the safety environment, safety feature must be there one, right? So anything wrong, right, you're liable, right? So point number 2, developer is not liable. No, 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 liable. Point number 2 is out. Point number 3, using the hanger is voluntary non-fit injurer. What's the meaning of voluntary non-fit injurer?
It means that it is the the person themselves cause the accident to happen.
You
So it's more
consume
like
your own risk.
consume your own risk.
Yes, you assume your own risk. That means that you yourself get camp, right? Assume your own risk. That is called voluntary non-fit injurer, right? So point number 3 is out. You cannot say that I use my handrail is I gay kiang one, correct?
Mm.
Am I right? Yeah, point number three is out. Point number four, developer can rely on just daddy. No. Who they cannot push to anybody, right? They are definitely liable one. So point number four is out.
Okay.
Point number point number five, right? Oliver can sue the developer under the what? Res
Rest is
ipsa liquidator. Yeah. What is the meaning of res ipsa liquidator?
it means that the scenario is evident, speaks for itself.
Ah, that is a case. That is a case of burn, right, versus uh Yoda, right? This is the case. The case of that is a person walk under the warehouse, right, and the bag of flour fall on him, all right, and the judge say that, right, things fix for itself because he was unable to prove somebody pushed the flour down. It's because of law of gravity, right? So if let's say you didn't put the place of flour properly, right, at time the flour will fall, right? So the judge say that it's things speak for itself. You need not to show somebody push it down. No need. That is a case that why this case is happen important is because that for all the negligent case, the plaintiff has to prove that the defendants owe them first, owe them a duty of care. Then they breach of the duty. Third, there is a cause and effect relationship. Fourth, the claim is not too remote. It's for the plaintiff to prove. All the cases for negligence is for the plaintiff to prove. But only for this type of cases, res ipsa liquidator, plaintiff don't need to prove. Like the bag of flour fall on him, he doesn't need to prove. What he need to prove is that it's for the defendants to prove they are not liable. Understand?
Okay.
Yeah. Only res ipsa liquidator is for the defendants to prove they are not liable. Only that. Other than that, other than that, right, all along is for the plaintiff to prove that the defendants owe them a duty, breach of the duty. There's a cause and effect, and his claim is not too remote. Because otherwise, right, anybody just raise and then the defendants will be very not free. Every time go to defense. Alright? You just raise then they go to defense. No. Only that kind of cases that res ipsa liquidator is for the defendants to answer. Okay. To answer they are not liable. Other than that, it's plaintiff to prove. That's why I say that evidence law is one of my subject matter. Right?
Mm.
Okay. Okay. Question number two.
Question number two, I put Denmark.
Correct. Question number three.
Question number three, I put this Bangkok.
No, Charlie.
Okay, my tick is in the, but yeah, maybe yeah. Okay. Cha,
Charlie. Okay.
eggshell
Richard
cannot.
cannot claim. Sorry.
Oh, no, nothing. Please continue.
Okay. Richard cannot claim under the thought of negligence because his suffering is too remote. No. Richard is at the scene, so he can claim. He's at the scene. If let's say he's at home or he went to hospital to visit his wife and he suffer the shock, then cannot claim. But he's at the scene, so Richard can claim. Right. Point number one is out. Point number two, Richard cannot claim. No, Richard can claim. Point number two is out. Point number three, eggshell scar rule. The day I write on the board, right? Applied, right? Yeah. Point
Cannot
number three
choose
is
the
correct.
victim.
Sorry.
Cannot choose the victim for
Yes.
what eggshell rules. Yeah.
Yes. And what is the case about?
Uh, I forgot the name, but it's about the robber hitting the person's head for the robbery, but
Yes.
still the person killed.
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, your
So
story
you
is
cannot choose
interesting
the
to
victim.
remember. Can remember.
Sorry.
Your story is
Sorry.
interesting to remember, so I can remember the case
Mm.
and the scenario.
Good. Good. Remember to remember scenario. Yes, correct. So point number three is correct. Point number four, there is a break of causation of the claim. Is there a break? No, there's no break, right? Point number 5. No duty of care owed to... Yes, there is duty of care. So only point number 3 is the correct answer. Charlie is the correct answer.
Can I ask
All right.
what is public policy for point 2?
Public policy simply is that you see like ambulance, like fire engine. Surely they owe us a duty of care. Am I right? And if let's say they are late, definitely the life may lost, property may lost, right? Because they are late. But they are trying their best to come, right? But anyway, lateness, right, it will cause something very dangerous one, very severe one, right? But they're trying their best. So public policy is that the government must step in to make sure that to hold the floodgate. Otherwise, right, there will be too many litigation upon them already. They got no defense one. No matter how fast they are, right, you will consider them late one. Because they are not magic, right? You piak, then immediately in front of you. So they got to take time to travel. So public policy is the government put a stop gate for the public to make a claim on this kind of agency, like fire engine, ambulance. Understand?
I don't understand on how like it is applied or can be applied for this.
Hmm.
I know
Hmm?
there is not relevant that is wrong. There's wrong answer, but how does it like fit into this scenario?
No. Point number 2. Richard cannot claim under the top of negligence because of public policy. This case, right, is about the new showroom, right? Am I right?
Yes.
You think the government will protect the show fact saying that you saw something that not fixed properly, right? They cannot claim from you? Do you think
Ah,
the government
okay.
the,
So it
the
is
government will not
100%.
never protect them?
Ah,
The government only protect the government agency, not a developer.
hmm. Does public policy apply to anything that is land related or agency related?
No. Government only protect their under government because it's public policy. It's only their department. Those under government, like police, they protect. Civil defense force, they protect. Other than that, you answer for yourself.
Because it sounds like public policy is primarily focused on governmental bodies' actions and not like
Yes.
land.
That's called public ma. That's called public ma.
So let's say public land. Will public policy have any effect on it?
Quote me a case.
Like as in not really a case lah, but let's
No,
say
you have to quote me a case because like that day the gentleman say it's too many scenario already. You have to quote me a case because I can tell you no N1. So you have to quote me a case, then I'll tell you what is the answer. Because otherwise, right, no N1. It's too many scenario that can be related. And then it's scenario based. Law is not something that is unless it's a strict liability. Strict liability. Strict liability that means that as long as there's an offense, you're wrong already. Strict liability means that like traffic accident, like traffic case. As long as you jaywalk, right, you're wrong already. No need to give reason. One. That is called strict liability. But other than that, right, law is not strict liability. So it's scenario case. You have to give me a scenario, then we will see whether what case you can apply.
oh, then in that case,
Hmm.
I can't
It's
think of a
always
scenario
argument,
off
ma.
my head. I can't think of a
Yeah.
scenario
Okay.
right now, so it's okay.
All right. Okay. Okay. Question number 4.
Question number 5 put A America.
4. 4. 4.
Oh, 4 is Denmark.
Question number 4.
I put
No,
America.
it's Bangkok.
Oh,
Okay. Now, point number 1. You put what? You put
I put
what is your answer for?
America.
Okay. Point number 1. They have legal interest on property. No, they only got equitable interest because not built yet. The house not there yet. Yesterday I mentioned. Yesterday I just mentioned. Now, it's in a new launch. In a new launch, the house not even there yet. So you will never have a legal interest fund because the house not there yet, physical house not there yet. So you only got equitable interest. So if the bank give you money, right, loan you money, the bank will not have legal mortgage. The bank only got equitable mortgage because you yourself don't even have a legal interest. You yourself only have equitable interest. So the bank lend you money, the bank will have equitable mortgage. Clear?
Okay. Yes.
So point number one, say that they have legal interest. No, no need to say one, out, right? They don't have legal interest. Point number two, they are mortgagee. No, they are mortgagor.
Yep.
That is a catch. So point number three, the bank lodged a caveat on the property on the disbursement of the loan. That is the correct answer. All right. Point number four, this is a legal mortgage. No, this is an equitable mortgage
Okay.
because you yourself is not the legal owner. You yourself is only holding equitable interest. So the bank will never have equitable, will never have legal interest for you yourself don't even have. Right. So the bank will only have got equitable mortgage. So point number three is the only answer. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Question number five.
Question number 5, I put China.
Denmark. Now, you see, Denmark. Now, we are talking about will, right?
Hmm.
Am I right?
Yes.
Will only take effect when the person pass on. No.
Yes.
So this fellow still alive. Richard still alive. So nothing happened.
Hmm.
Correct?
Yes.
Richard still alive. So when all you talk about all these, what reversionary interest, whatever the interest is it. Okay, he's still alive. So you got no interest at all until he pass on. Until he pass on. So none of the above.
Uh, okay, okay. So let's say
Okay,
if he
good.
died, right? Then
If he die, okay.
will the answer be C?
Okay, if he die, okay, let's say if he die, now, if let's say if he die, okay, Oliver will have a life estate, am I right? All
Yes.
right, and then that Petra will have the become the remainder. That will be the case when he die.
Hmm.
All right, so
Yes.
if he die, okay, Oliver has the reversionary. No, point number one is out. If let's say he die, point number one is out. Point number two, Olivia has a legal interest. Yes, point number two is correct. Point number three, Petra holding remainder interest of the property. Yes, that is correct. When he died. Okay. Point number four, Petra is holding equitable interest of the property. If he died, yes. So two, three, four, yes. If he
Okay.
died.
So in that
If
case,
he died.
what
Mm.
is the Oliver is holding the legal interest in the property, not
Yes.
reversionary.
Mm.
Okay.
Reversionary? No, he's a life estate.
Okay.
He's a life estate. Life estate, that means that he will stay on there for life. Okay. So until he pass on, right, then will become Petra.
Okay.
Ah, okay. Question number six.
Question number 6, I put America.
Charlie. Okay.
Wow, too
As a
late.
mortgagee, Richard has no. Richard is a mortgagor. Point number one is out. Richard is a mortgagor. Right. Point number two. Richard will be discharged from mortgage if the loan is fully paid. So point number two is correct.
Hmm.
Point number three. Mortgagor has the right to appoint. That is mortgagee to appoint. So point number three is out. Point number four, mortgagor can apply to the court. No, mortgagee to apply to court. Point number four is out. So only point number two is the correct answer. Charlie is the correct answer.
Okay.
This is playing with words, mortgagor or mortgagee. Alright? Okay.
Wow, that is my
Now,
is my bad chapter. Wow, language
yeah.
also. Okay.
Yeah. Bank is always evil. So bank is a mortgagee.
Hmm.
Bank is always evil, evil, e. Right? So bank is a mortgagee. We are good guy. We are mortgagor, right? And every time when you look at law, right, the person that start off the action is always start behind is always er or or. That means testor, right? Offeror, right? And donor, right? We always start with or and er because we are the one that make action. Now, when you loan, you are the one that go to the bank there and ask for a loan. Not the bank approach you. You are the one going. So you are the mortgagor. Bank is a mortgagee. They are the one that receiving your request, right, for a loan. So they are waiting for you there. So they are the mortgagee. And bank is always evil. That's why it's mortgagee. Okay?
Okay. Can.
2.9.
2.9. By the way, thanks for taking so much time to help me. I really appreciate it.
You're very much welcome. You should.
Thank you.
I'm not paiseh to claim that one. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
So for 2.11, this one is for the
No, no.
case
2.9. 2.9.
2.9. Where's my 2.9?
You don't have 2.9. Oh, you don't have 2.9. Correct. Okay.
Oh,
This
sorry, I
one is
didn't
not
do
given. Because
2.9. Did I?
no, no.
I
Don't have. You don't have.
oh, okay,
You
okay.
don't have. Yeah. Because like that is. I'm still constructing. Right. I'm still
Okay.
constructing. Okay. Okay. 2.11.
So for 2.11, this is the question for George and Frank.
Yes. Correct.
So for
And
question
Mata.
one, and Mata, yes. So for question one, I put C, China.
Bangkok. Bangkok.
Reverse. Okay.
Now, because the gift is irrevocable. Because Frank, George give to Frank, right?
Mm,
So the gift is irrevocable. Now, point number one, George can withdraw his gift. No, irrevocable. Point number B is correct. Point number C, the gift from George is irreversible. Not irreversible, is irrevocable. Alright. So point B is out, point C is not. The legal term is wrong. Now, point number D, no lah, I just purposely put that one. Point number D cannot apply. Alright.
what's the
Your answer.
my answer is irreversible, which is like a little confused between the specific definition between both of them, like use
Oh,
case.
irreversible, it doesn't apply in this case, right? It's revocable, irrevocable. Just like your trust, also same thing. You have revocable trust and irrevocable trust.
Mm,
Okay, and remember, agents also. A principal can revoke. Revoke is a word, right? And revocable is a noun. Revoke and revocable. One is REVOKE. This is RECOVOCAKCABLE. Now, this is called revocable, and the word itself is called revoke, REVOKE. All right, not reversible, not reversible. Reversible that means that return. No, it's revocable. Excuse me.
okay.
Revocable means what? Cancel. Reversible means return. Right. That means that in this case, right, revocable means cancel. Right. Right. So answer is B, Bangkok. Okay, 1.2, 1.2.
1.2 I put Denmark.
Correct. 1.3.
1.3 I put America.
Hmm. Bangkok.
Oh, Bangkok.
Okay, you see, 2.3, what happened there? 2.3 is that, let's say you buy the property first, right? And then anybody that you add your name inside, surely TIC one, because you don't have the full unity. Unity of time is not there already. You must be two party go there and buy, then you have a chance to be JT and TIC.
Oh,
If let's say one party buy, if one party buy first, add the name of the other party. Surely it's TIC one because you do not have unity of time. You're not there. What? For JT to work, you must have the four unity, right? What four unity? PITT, right? Possession, time, interest, and what? Title, PITT, right? PITT. You must have the four things together. Now, in this case, right, one person name come in, you already don't have time already. Definitely TIC, all right?
Okay.
1.4,
Okay. 1.4, I put Charlie.
Bangkok. Now, GC, this in 2004, what happened in 2004?
In 2004, uh, 2004
Okay,
Mata transfer the property
okay,
to
transfer, transfer, transfer. Let's see. Okay, the GC, point number one, GCP is hold under joint and out is still under TIC. So point number two is correct. Point number three, Frank hold legal interest of it. Yes, he hold 50%. Ma. So point number three is correct. So point number four, right? Mata hold the legal interest no longer transfer already, no more illegal interest already. Point number five, point number four is out. Point number five, Mata hold equitable interest out. Point number six, Beta hold legal interest. Yes, point number six is correct. Point number seven, Beta hold equitable is wrong. So 2, 3, and 6 is the correct answer. Bangkok is the correct answer. Do
okay.
2, 3, and 6 is the correct answer. Alright?
Hmm.
Okay, question 1.5.
1.5, I put Bangkok.
Charlie, now 2.7, what happened in 207?
207, the father died, the Frank died.
Frank died, yeah? Okay, Frank died. Okay, so 2007, Frank died. Okay, so Frank died, Charlie, right? Point number one, GCB hold under, no, out. GCB held, point number one, out. Point number two, GCB held under TIC, yes, correct. Point number two is correct. Mata hold the legal interest of the P. That's correct. Point number three is correct. Because Frank died already, ma, correct?
Hmm.
Am I right?
Yes.
So in tacit succession, Mata will have more, correct?
Hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
so point number three is correct. Okay, point number four, Mata hold equitable interest. No, it's the son that hold equitable interest for her share, right? So point number four is out. Point number five, right? Beta hold the legal interest. Yes, all along she holds the holding, ma. So point number five is correct. Point number six, beta hold no, beta not holding equitable. Beta is holding legal. So 2, 3, 5 is the correct answer.
If if Frank died,
Hmm.
where does his share or actually no, that one is the next question already. So okay, okay, can.
Okay. Now, okay. Point 1.6.
1.6, I put C.
Bangkok.
Bangkok.
In mother died in 205. 205. What happened in 205?
205 transfer the
Already transfer. Already transfer. Okay. So already transfer. So if he died, right? Frank hold 50% legal. Frank is holding his own, ma, correct?
mm,
Mm.
yes.
So the son hold 50% equitable interest. Yeah, correct. Bangkok is correct answer. How can Frank hold 100%? No, right? Because it already split to 50-50 already, ma, correct? So point number A is out. Point number two, Frank hold 50% of legal interest, son hold 25%. No lah, 50% already transferred to him already. What? Remember? Right, so point number C is out. Point number D cannot be what? Frank all along holding 50 ma. So how can Frank hold 25 now? Right? So only Bangkok is the correct answer.
So actually for this one, right, they said that
Hmm.
the so it's TIC between Frank,
Hmm.
Mata, and the son initially. But
Okay?
is
No, TIC is between Mata and Frank only. TIC is between Mata and friend only. Then Mata make and trust, right? So when she make a trust, she transfer the legal title to the best friend Beta. Then she's totally out already, out of the picture already. So it's between Beta holding TIC together with Frank.
Okay.
Ah,
Okay,
okay?
okay, can.
Okay, 1.7.
1.7 I put Charlie. Or like
Apple,
wrong.
Apple. Okay, now Beta die, right? Beta die, that means what? Beta die, that means that no trustee, correct? No trustee, yeah? Okay, no trustee. Frank will hold 100% of the interest, yes, right? The interest will go back to Frank, right?
Yep.
Okay, point number one is correct. Point number two, Martha will not have 50% interest if it is a revocable trust. Will not will not have the figure if let's say it's a revocable trust. Correct. Unless it's an irrevocable trust, right? So point number two is out. Point number two is correct, okay? Point number three, Sunny will hold 50% of legal interest in joint tenancy if the, yes, correct, that is correct. So point number one, two, three is correct. Point number four, Sunny will hold 100% equitable interest if both parties die.
That is
Okay. Now,
incorrect though.
sorry?
Sorry. They said the statement that's incorrect, right?
Yeah. So they're looking for incorrect answer. Correct. So point number one is incorrect. Point number two is incorrect. Point number three is incorrect. Point number four is correct. You clear what I mean?
So if Beta died,
Ah,
Frank will not hold 100% of the property because he
beta
will
die.
transfer.
No, if let's say beta die, okay, then if let's say trustee die, right? Trustee die, right?
Mm.
Trustee die, they appoint another trustee. Oh.
So it will revert back to Mata first, then Mata will assign another trustee.
No, this case, if let's say it's a irrevocable, the court will find a trustee. The court will appoint a trustee.
So it's out of Mata's hand already. Mata cannot take it back if it's irrevocable.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Point court will appoint. Most likely is OA. What? Simple. Official assignee. What? They have many, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, can.
So point number one is incorrect. So that is the answer. Alright. Point number two, Martha will not have the 50% interest if it is a revocable trust. No. If let's say this is a revocable trust, she will able to have the 50%.
Mm. Okay.
So point number two is incorrect. Right. So that's the answer. Point number three, Sunny will hold 50% legal interest. Okay. In joint tenancy, no. It's in TIC, not JT.
Okay.
Point number three is TIC, not JT. So this is incorrect. That's why point number one, two, three is the answer.
Okay.
Mm. Okay, point number 1.8.
This one I put Denmark.
Apple. Okay, if let's say Sunny die, Sunny will go in tacit succession, right? In tacit succession, his Sunny's 50%, right, will distribute to the mother and father, ma. So the father hold 50 plus 25, 75.
Uh, okay.
Mm.
Invested. Okay, can.
Yeah, in tacit succession, right? Because this Sunny will never have real one, ma, correct?
Mm.
Why? Why no will?
Underage one as a newborn.
Correct lah. So in tacit succession, okay. Now 2.12.
2.12. Oh, okay. This one is the
Mm.
one with Famway and the father.
Mm.
So for Question 1.1, I put invalid.
Valid.
Invalid,
It's a father. It's a father that engaged the agent.
but it'll be Famoy that signs it though.
No. Is here the question asking at the time a father engaged an agent to search for right? It's an agency contract. It's talking about agency contract, no? It's contract between the father and the agent, no? Valid.
Oh,
Okay. 1.2.
okay. Okay, okay. So let's say if it is Famoy that finds the agent herself, then will it be still valid, or is it invalid, voidable, or unforeseeable?
No. If let's say it's the daughter engage an agent, right? You'll be invalid because that she's not she's not in the she doesn't have the capacity to do that.
Okay, but since this one
Mm.
is father
The father engaged.
fine for the underage person, so it's valid.
Sorry,
Or
come again?
it is a is an adult who fines for an underage person, so
No.
it is still
The
valid.
answer no no. It's because that it's the father that engaged. That's why it's a father agreement. Father engaged.
Okay,
Ah, okay. 1.2.
1.2 I put Charlie.
Apple.
Okay,
Now you
so
see
okay, yes.
correct right? Apple right?
I Cause I thought it was valid but unenforceable.
No.
Pronunciation.
You see, your signing of this one must be in English and must be in writing mark, right?
English
Am I
meant
right?
it is. I thought that one is
English mark,
just
correct? So you
enforceable.
see, the one that the father has a copy is a Vietnamese translated copy, correct?
Hmm. Yes.
So whether he sign or doesn't sign doesn't matter at all because you're not admissible to God, by the way. It's not admissible to the court, by the way. So whether he sign or he didn't sign it doesn't matter at all. It's the one that the daughter sign is valid.
Mm,
Alright, why the daughter sign that one is valid? Because that under the Civil Law Act, it allowed an age below above 18 able to sign the lease contract. I mentioned in the class.
mm,
Alright. And the contract can last for how long?
sorry.
The under the Civil Law Act allow 18 years old to sign a lease contract.
Oh, for 3 years.
Why 3 years?
That's when they become of legal age to actually sign.
Correct. Yeah. So right now the answer is A because she can sign already. Right. So the father one whether sign or not don't sign doesn't matter because it's Vietnamese copy. What? Whether he sign or he doesn't sign doesn't matter. Nothing to do with us because the daughter copy already valid. Okay. Point number 1.3.
1.3 I put Denmark.
Correct. Number two.
Number 2 I put Denmark
2.1.
as well.
Huh?
I put Denmark as
2,
well.
2.1.
Yes.
Bangkok. Okay. Now, Matthew is trying to block Hook Lam. Matthew is trying to block Hook Lam to inherit the property, right?
Mm,
All right. Okay. Now, okay. So in this case, right, point number one, Matthew intend to persuade Stephen to appoint him as Dhoni. LPA, no lah. LPA is only when Stephen go insane, no. But even with Stephen go insane, right, he cannot deal with the property, no. So point number one is out. Point number two, Stephen will pass on. Hock Lam will not have legal title of the property. That is correct. Because if let's say he pass on, right, Hock Lam will have equitable interest. equitable title. Correct. So point number 2 is correct. Understand?
Mm, but then isn't
Not legal title. Equitable title. Equitable title. Correct lah. Equitable title. So will not have legal title. Correct. So point number 2 is correct. Okay. Point number 3. Matthew planned to persuade Stephen to appoint him Donnie a bit. No. POA is only meant for specific tasks only. Cannot be. That means let's say if I go overseas, right? I cannot complete my transaction. I ask my brother to do for me. That's called POA. Right? It's only for specific tasks only. This case is not specific task, right? So point number 3 is out. Point number 4, Matthew will want to persuade trustee, even worse. That means that he is holding legal title, right? And he still that is a beneficiary and still Hok Lam, what? Right? So point number 4 is out. So only point number 2 is the correct answer. Why point number 2 is correct answer? Because Hok Lam is underage. So he will not hold the legal title. He only hold equitable title. Clear?
okay?
Mm. So correct lah. Would
Equitable.
not hold legal title. Yes. You holding equitable title. That's correct answer. Point number
Okay.
2.2.
So even if it's willed to him,
Mm.
it is still only equitable. There's no legal.
He's a beneficiary. Somebody must hold legal title for him. Somebody must hold legal title for him. Because he's a beneficiary, correct? He's underage, correct? So somebody must hold for him. So you're a
Okay.
beneficiary, how can you hold legal title?
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
For
Okay, 2.2.
2.2, I put Bangkok.
Yeah, mark.
Okay,
Okay.
one is correct. Oh wait, no, not one is correct. Four is
LP.
correct.
Sorry?
Four is correct. I thought
One
you
is.
don't need to go court to annul one.
No, point number 1. LPA will be invalid. Correct, but
Yes.
Answer under pressure is definitely correct. Right? Okay. Point number 2. LP will be revoked by Stephen on his death. Yes, because that when Stephen died, right, the will take
LPA.
over.
Yeah.
Right? The will take over or intestate succession will take over. So point number 2 is correct.
Mm.
Point number 3. Even after signing, Stephen can revoke. Yes. As long as he's still insane, he can anytime go. If let's say he has mental capacity, definitely he can do that unless they go insane. So point number 3 is correct. Point number 4, anyone can apply to the court. Yes, why not? That is under your LPA Act. Your LPA Act, Section 35, mentioned that anybody can go to court.
With this, anybody is regarding like people on the
Anybody,
football.
even route, any route, any passerby also can. Anybody, no need to be related. As long as you 看不顺眼, you can also do that.
Wait, so let's say okay, so let's say
Mm.
I don't know. Me and my
This
mom.
one, you remember that this is a case about the. I don't know whether you know about the China tour guide case.
The one where they scam the old lady's money.
Old lady, the old lady, I think she's a surgeon, right? And then the one that applied to court, you know who is she?
The daughter? No?
The niece, the niece, the niece of the old lady. No, no,
But
definitely
kind
not
of
daughter
creepy.
because this person doesn't have children. That's why that cannot pass down. That's why need LPA. So it's not the daughter, it's the niece. But the court say under Section 35 or LPA Act, no need to be related any party. 只要你看不顺眼, you also can do that.
So let's say me and my mother have a LPA relationship and
You and your mother have an LPA relationship.
yes.
Then your question?
For example so
Ah,
are you able to or are you allowed to go to court and say okay these two revoke annul the LPA relationship?
yeah, but then what is my reason to ask for a vote?
Uh I don't know. No,
No,
no reason.
the judge is not so stupid, no. The judge will answer, yeah, okay. So what's the reason to vote? These are mother and son relationship, no. But this one is a tour guide and the old lady. What is the relationship?
Okay.
You get what I mean? No? The judge is not so stupid one. No. The judge will look at case. No. Mother and son, then you are third party. Then who are you to revote? I mean, what's your ground? What's your ground? You must say a ground. You don't gonna slap
No
by the
ground.
judge. Yeah, no ground, then you was gonna slap by the judge already. Right? Condemn or court. Or suka walk in and complain. Right? Condemn or court. Okay. Alright.
Okay, so this one
Okay.
is anyone can apply, but not
Anyone.
it's
But
not
but
guaranteed
you
to
must sorry?
it's not guaranteed to be annulled. It's just applying.
Oh no. No, no, no. When you apply the time, no, no. When you apply the time, the court will investigate. The court will investigate. When you apply, the court will investigate, see there is a case to proceed or not. Now, like the kind of case, right? A China tour guide, right, and a Singaporean old lady, right? The case is also suspicious already. Right? The court will certainly want to search further, right? Is there any relationship between them? Definite one, because it's so odd, right? But if let's say this is both are Singaporean, the court will also go inside and search, right? Any relationship between them or not. But they may find some certain relationship. But it's a China tour guide, and this old lady is a surgeon. The case is so odd, the court will accept to investigate one, for sure.
Okay.
Clear? Mm. Let's say for your mother and you, your case, who kepo go and do sure gonna slap by court one. This is a mother and son case. Who are you to say you want to revoke? What is your ground to revoke? Right? No case. Okay, that is 2.12. Okay, that's the end already. Right? Any question?
There's 2.13.
2.13, 2.13. Yes. Okay. Question number one.
Question number one, I put C, Charlie.
Correct. Question number two.
Question number two, I put D, Denmark.
Correct. Question number three.
Question number three, I put all of the above.
Correct. Question number four.
Yes. Question number four, I put America.
Question number four. You go back to the table. Okay. You tell me what is the total square meter first.
Go back to the total square
No,
meter
no, no,
for
no, 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 no need. Now you tell me what is the total square meter.
total square meter is 1,800.
2,000
2,000?
total
1,000?
square.
Oh, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, 2,000.
Hmm. Okay, okay, 2,000. Then you go back to the table, right? You go back to the table and you map the 2,000 with individual. You get the answer. Right? You go back to the map. You go back to the table and you map out up. You map it up. Now you got the 2,000 already. You go back. You go back and do your own calculation. You get Charlie.
Okay,
Right? Do your homework. Right?
can.
2,000. Then you do your homework. You should get you should get Charlie. Right? Okay. Question number five.
Question number five, I put B, Bangkok.
Apple lah. Apple. You change one class to the other class. Change no class to no class. Whatever also need the approval one. So Apple. Right. By the way, how many classes is there?
Was it 19? 18?
Cannot be like that. 18层地狱 18.
18, right?
Yes.
Okay,
18.
right.
So 18 class. Where did these classes come from? What is these classes for?
For the use cases of the land itself.
Yeah, how these classes come from? From what our land?
how these classes come from.
Zoning is doing what? Zoning is doing what?
Separating the use case for each land.
Correct. So totally like how many how many zone?
Zone, you mean like the district?
No. How many zoning? You're talking about zoning, ma, correct? The
Uh-huh.
legend, right? I talk about legend, right?
Hmm.
UIA is zoning, ma, correct? That means residential or industrial, all right? That kind of zoning, ah. So how many zone is that?
54.
Go back and study. 31. One big month, 31. 31. All right. So where did these classes come from?
Uh, Hold on. 31 zone.
Where did these
Classes come
classes come from?
from
Hmm.
the different use cases.
No, these classes is come from under the commercial zone, right? They want to subdivide into what type of commercial activities. So they come up with these classes under the commercial. They want to subdivide that what type of commercial activities. That's why they created these classes, right? So totally there are 18 classes. Clear?
Hmm.
Ah,
But changing from one unclassified class to another unclassified class,
yes.
is it
Must also
independent
like
class?
seek approval. Must also seek approval because let's say because they only got 18 ma, correct? So there will definitely that certain classes is not inside the 18 one,
Hmm.
correct? So not 18 one, let's say a barber shop, right? Barber shop not inside the 18, right? And then the other one is a bicycle shop, also not inside the 18. So you convert the barber shop to bicycle shop, you also need registered, you also need UI approval, right? Because both are not inside the 18 ma. Clear?
Okay.
So that's why that from one no class to one no class, you also need approval because that not necessary to be the same no class, right? Like barber shop and bicycle shop, no class, what? Both are no class, what? Right? Okay,
Hmm.
can
Okay.
okay. So under the LBC, geographical zone, totally how many is that?
LBC, land
Ah,
betterment.
totally how many sector? Geographical sector.
How many? Was it 28?
118.
Okay.
Go back, go back and read because all these are examinable.
Okay.
All these are example. The number is 118. Okay, you go back and read. It's 118, and the number 118 is from where? Where you can find 118? Which area is 118?
Each of the
Pulau Tekong,
districts.
Pulau Ubin, Pulau Tekong, Pulau Ubin is 118.
Okay.
Pulau Tekong, Pulau Ubin is 118. Right. So you look at the table, LBC table. The last number is 118. Right. It's examinable. Right.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay. I think that's all right.
Yes, that's all.
Okay. Any more questions?
Uh, no, no question. No question.
Hmm. Okay, can. Right. I think that I think you're not too bad. Seriously, you're not too bad. Right. And I think that you should able to pass. Lah. Okay. So you know your weaker area is just now the one that writes on others' land, right? And that is about you're a bit weak on that. Then other than that, I think should be okay. Okay. Now there are two areas you need to strengthen. Okay. Now one is that your rights in other land, I mentioned, right? Rights in other land, that is your big point. The other one that you have to go back to look at your um, URA master plan, right? That one is your weakness, right? Because that those questions that you are not able to answer, 2.13 is under the master plan, right? Those number I asked you, right? You cannot remember. Now that is under master plan, right? They will come up question from that one,
Okay.
right? That is not law. That is regulation. So you must read the master plan, right? And right now they are talking about what is which. I ask you, what right now? Which master plan are we using? What is approved? Which is the approved master plan? Which year one?
You mean like the long-term plan?
No, master plan. I'm talking about master plan. Which is the approved master plan? Currently approved one.
There's an approved master plan.
Yes, of course. 2019.
Oh, you heard all the
20,
all the year. Okay.
2019 is the only master plan that is approved currently, right? So that is approved one, right? So 2019, remember 2019 is approved master plan, right? But the one that the government talking right now already in use, but haven't approved, already in use is draft master plan 2025. The one that they already use is draft master plan 2025. Already used already, but they haven't approved by parliament. The one that approved by parliament is master plan 2019. All right. Now the draft 2025, which one is already in use? They're talking about the prime location. Prime location. Now your MOP, how many type of MOP you have? How many type? How many years you have?
How many years? Yeah, 5 years,
Hmm,
10 years.
5 years. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And then
5 years, 10 years, 15 years.
mm,
That's it.
don't have 15 years. Don't have 15 years. 5 years. The
Mm-hmm.
new one, the prime location, 10 years. All right. And there is one 20 years. 20 years. That is fresh start scheme. That is under your paper two. Go back and read your paper two. Fresh start scheme. MOP 20 years. You write it down. Fresh start scheme. MOP 20 years. Right. So your MOP is only 5, 10, and 20. Right. Don't have 15. Right. Your 10 is a new one. Your 10 is the one that prime location. That is under your draft master plan 2025. They already in use already, although haven't approved by parliament. All right. And the other thing that you must know under the master plan 2025 is vertical zoning. That is something new. All along, all the plan before that, they only got horizontal zoning. That's why you got 31 zone, right? Horizontal zoning. That means that they designated this place to be industrial, designated this place to be commercial, designated this place to be residential. All these are horizontal zoning. Draft Master Plan 2025 is the only master plan mentioned vertical zoning. That means that within an area, you can have different zone, right, in that piece of land. That is the only thing different from the draft 2025 and all the one that before, right? Two things. One is vertical zoning. The other one is the prime location, which is already in use. These are the two things that significantly in draft master plan 2025. All right, go back and read your master plan development. That one you are a bit weak, right? Because otherwise those questions you cannot answer. So your two weak area. One is third parties right in others land. The other one is the master plan, right? And other than that, you're okay.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay, so far so good.
I'll go and read on the master plan portion. Yeah, that one really, really, I did really revise on that portion. Because
Cannot lah,
most of the case
cannot lah
studies
because
for paper one, I find from the previous like exams is mainly on case study portion. They don't really, or I don't see how they incorporate this into case studies.
oh, not in case study. In master plan will not be in case study. Master plan will be in those question, right?
No, but
But
it
then
seems
that
like every single question is a story based question already.
yeah, but you can see how I asked my 2.13.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, that is the way they can ask. Yeah, you see my 2.13 how I ask, right? And the one that you can see that one is under the one that ask you to calculate the 2000 the one.
Mm.
You see how I ask, right? And this will be the type of question that will come out. So must, and you may not know. Okay, now in your examination question, right? Only 90% of the question you can answer only. You know, right? Because 10% you cannot answer one, right? Because those 10% question are just like your O level or A level examination, right? 10% is reserved for those distinctions or scholar because they study more, right? So there'll be 10% that you cannot answer one because you didn't study, because you never cover so much. So if let's say for us, I'm a lawyer, so the 10% I can answer, right? The 10% because not in your syllabus, you cannot answer one. So you can only focus on 90%. So within the 90%, you must be good on your 90% because 10% already out already. Clear?
Mm.
Right? So should not miss out at anything. So master plan is not difficult, right? And he might come up 1 or 2 questions, but this time, this 1 or 2 marks, right, may be a lifesaver, right? So just don't ignore, just read, and it's easy. They are not law concept, they are just regulation. Very simple one. Can?
Okay. Can.
Okay,
Mm.
so you're in good hand, don't worry, right? Right, all the best.
Thank you. Hope so.
All right.
I'll continue studying.
Sorry?
I'll continue
Sorry?
studying on this portion.
All right. Want to hear the good news from you, right? When you got your result, let me know.
Can. Hopefully it's good.
All right.
Do my
All right.
best.
Okay. You take care. Right. You take care. God bless. God bless. Right. You take care.
Thanks, man.
All
Thanks
right.
for
Take care.
helping
Good night.
me for this. Thank you. Bye bye.
Oh, you are so much welcome. Right. Okay. Good night. Bye bye.